Hello, hello, hello everyone. This is Rex Red. I am back with another Ez3DTv tutorial. And we are going to work today with advanced lighting effects. And I thought I would teach you guys a little bit, and gals, a little bit about some advanced lighting features that I thought you might find very helpful. It's something I stumbled upon, and I find it to be incredibly exciting. And so I thought I would pass that excitement on to you. So here we go. What this is, you know the bloom effect, where you can go into your tone mapper and turn on bloom and it will make lights kind of glow or bloom in your scene. Well, this is kind of that, but better, okay? Because it literally makes lights bloom within your scene. It's not something that is overlaid over the scene, but it's something that's actually happening within the scene. And I find that very, 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 very interesting. Okay, so what we're going to do now is, the first thing to do is to put a VDB into the scene. Okay, so we're going to go to here, and let's get kind of like a thick fog cloud field. Let's try this. And now let's, and what we're going to do is take this cloud field and let's go into iRay, which will put our tone mapper and all of that into the field. Let's bring this cloud field up. Now we're actually inside the cloud field, okay? Which is kind of exciting. But what's wrong? It's just instantly, I noticed something like terribly wrong, okay? And that is because our camera has a, well, actually our perspective view. So we're going to create a new camera. We'll call this camera. That's a very inventive name for a camera. All right, so we look through the camera and it looks the same. And that is because our camera is creating a light in the scene. And, okay, so what we're going to do now is we'll create a point light, linear point light. And when we do our camera light, the auto camera light will turn itself off. And now this kind of looks like fog. But the problem with this fog is our light here is, let's put a plane in the scene just so we kind of know what's going on here. A plane. And we'll go with the size. We'll go 5. And the divisions, 20 is good, I guess. And so this, we can scale this plane up a little bit. I wasn't sure exactly how big I was going to need it. All right. So what happens now when we turn off we go to our environment and let's put a backdrop, a black backdrop. Okay, so our fog kind of shows up in a way. And then we'll also go into our render settings. And we'll go here. No, we're going to go into our scene. Go to our environment options and parameters, excuse me. And I am going to go with scene only. And now we have a very, very, very dark scene. We have control of the light. And this light is only putting out a little bit of light. Okay, so let's go to our linear point light. And let's turn it up a little bit more. So we go to our parameters, go down here, and let's go to, let's say, excuse me, 5. And you see this lights up our scene. Now if I click off of this, now if we just kind of hide these little lines here, just so we can, so they're not just kind of disturbing what the linear point light is actually doing. We go to display visible in viewport, we'll go off, okay? And that's our linear point light. Now if we get a little closer to this linear point light, we can see it's creating a cool effect, okay? But it's not as cool as it could be. And that is why we're going to create something, we're going to do something different here. We're going to select our linear point light and go, watch this not work, because it's like the minute you actually try to do something and show people, see, isn't this cool? It just suddenly doesn't work. So we're going to go into optimization. And when we turn on this Caustic Sampler, what's going to happen? And it's kind of happening, but then it doesn't seem like it's happening a lot. But okay, this is the whole point of this, is that it's, if you look at this, you see it's actually putting itself into the scene. Now we turn it off, and you see it's kind of like, sort of, its interaction here is sort of like faking its interaction in a way, where this, when you turn this Caustic Sampler on, now if I were to go into this linear point light, general, and let's give this linear point light some color. Linear point light, parameters, and we'll go with like a blue, maybe. Blue, see what happens. Now that was a lot of blue. Okay. And we take the lumens down to like, well, we lost it. To like 1. Okay. Now what happens when we change this linear point light back to our Caustic Sampler? Yeah, see, this isn't really showing the effect as much as I would like it to. So what we're going to do is take the linear point light out. Oh, and that put my camera light back on. So what I'm going to do is put a candle in the scene, okay? Default candle. I'm going to put a candle in the scene. Let's go with candelabra. Oh, that's a candle holder. That's not a candle. Okay, and for some reason, it's not seeing this candle as being a light source, because okay, so what I have to do is put a spotlight in the scene. Okay, that just turned off my light, okay. Now we're going to bring this down. And then what we will do is take our cloud Okay. And now notice the difference here. It's because the candle is actually interacting with this wax material, okay? And so now what we're seeing on the plane is this kind of glow that's, now when I go in back to our, notice the color, how it's hitting the ground. When I go and turn this back on, see what happens? See the difference here that this caustic sampler does to light, and it just didn't seem to work with the other in the other mode, but it does seem to work here when you put a light into a VDB. And so then we go back to our cloud here. And what if we take this cloud here and we go to surfaces here? And what if we make the multiplier and we go up to like 50? Okay, that's like so dense. Let's go 20. Okay, let's go 15. See how kind of cool this is? And now we go, because it's transferring its color not only onto the ground, but it's transferring its color into the world around it, okay? And so so at this point I would say, you know, maybe my flame is a little bit too bright. Let's take a look at this candle. So we're going to go into welcome. So what we're working with is specular rendering, and this specular effect as it relates to VDBs, okay? And transferring the light and color into the particles of the VDB. And you see, when I take this big candle here and I turn this off, we go back to render settings, the caustic see? Then see the difference? You see, it is still kind of reflecting some kind of color here, but the difference is quite remarkable. And this, now if I were to take the VDB off, turn this off, okay, and then we go into, you see there's not a heck of a lot of difference here when this happens. It seems as though this candle loses some sort of its transparency here when you turn this on. Okay, so on. Yeah, see, it loses it becomes almost like a metallic candle, but then and we turn that off, come back, okay, and then when it's off, it seems to be. Now I wonder what this guided sampling does. See, I'm not really sure what that is, so we'll wait just a moment to see if it kicks in and does something kind of weird, but okay, we're not gonna, and then these per texture thresholds. Okay, now that's for compression of textures. So this is the caustic sampler here. And now I think when it's at -1, that means that the light rays like infinitely go out. They don't have like a limit. And when you go up into like 0, 1, 2, 3, then the light and up, and I'm not sure how far that goes, but the light, it limits how far the rays can actually go out. But what we're a lot of this, they're kind of unrelated in this whole area. The one we're just really kind of working with is this Caustic Sampler. Because look at what it does when I turn this off, and then we go into turn on our VDB, and this it kind of looks cool, and it does look like the candle's somewhat illuminated. But what's not really happening here is that it's not transferring the color here it's not transferring any, like, the reflectiveness of the light reflecting off the candle and into it. See, this light is not bouncing off this and into here, and it seems like it's really it may be hitting the floor, okay, but it's not bouncing back off and hitting the VDB. I got notification of your live. Wonderful. I was watching Kamala, so, but I at that point, I decided that, tomorrow's voting day. I'm going to vote. And so, at this point, I know where I'm going to put my vote, and that's pretty much it. So, what we're going to do here is we are going to... So when I select this Caustic Sampler, okay, watch what happens. Watch this. Immediately, it's like the light reflects. It's like it's reflecting off of this material here. It's reflecting off the floor, and it's doing something amazing with our VDB, okay? So this is, I'm old-fashioned. I vote on voting day. So, all right. Now, so what we're going to do is we're going to take and look at this candle and the surfaces here, and we're going to go to the flame. And what I'm going to do, now the flame doesn't have a base color, but it does have an emission and a luminosity. And I'm going to try this at 50. Okay. And it really doesn't seem to have done much there. Okay. Let's, now there are different kinds of flames. Some flames are actually VDBs in themselves, and some with lighting built into them. And some of the flames are images. This seems like a different kind of candle where the flame itself is some kind of, I'm not sure what it is. It's some sort, maybe it's a globe of some sort that's definitely has some kind, it's a piece of geometry that has some kind of emissive placed on it. And I just, all it has, it's got a black base color, glossy color. And what if we change this glossy color to like yellow? See, that was strange, but we go back. I didn't know that fire actually had a glossiness to it. The emission color, we could go with a little more red here and see what happens. Yeah, see, this is amazing right here. See, the interaction with that VDB is what I want you to feast your eyes on. This is amazing, okay? What you're able to do with that Caustic Sampler in a VDB. You turn this off, and it's pretty much gone. And so you turn and you go back to the render settings, and you turn off the Caustic Sampler, Okay, and it looks like this material is translucent, but when you turn this fog back on, and what's not happening is the light isn't bouncing off this material and the material down inside here, which is like a yellowish material. It's not bouncing off the light the light that's coming off of this is obviously some kind of orange light. It's a white candle. The candle itself is white, but the light that's coming off of it is actually like some kind of reddish orange. But it's not hitting the VDB. It's not bouncing off here and hitting the VDB. It's just flowing out. There's no bouncing off of things, off of surfaces. And so this is not, it's just flowing straight out in lines, and it's flowing. And if it hits this, it doesn't bounce off. Okay? And that's the difference with this is there's none of that bouncing going on. So when you turn on this caustic sampler, you see the bouncing happening. Come on. There we go. See, it's bouncing now off of this and into and creating this color into the VDB. And this is like, it's like a, what would you call it? You could call this a bloom, but it's like a real bloom. It's not like some kind of post-effect bloom. It's like a real bloom. I have learned from a lot of you. I watched a recorded Halloween night of yours, and I heard my name, George. Yes, George. It is very nice to have you back here, George. Indeed, it is. It is. So, yes, we are working here with our Caustic Sampler and showing you some really cool stuff. Now I'm going to show you what you can do with this candle, because now VDBs present a problem, and I'll show you what that problem is. Because, okay, I don't know why I have a distant light in the scene. I didn't mean to have a distant light. What we're going to do, I thought I was putting in a spotlight, but we're going to put in a spotlight. And I'm going to show you what happens when you try to light something inside of a VDB. All right, so we're going to go and now take and look through our spotlight. We're going to select our candle and have the spotlight point. This is number 1. Okay, the spotlight, it's like what happens when your headlights are out in fog. They bounce off the fog, and the light can't travel because the fog, it's like is like a filter on your light. So now if I go here to my camera view, and also this is another problem, is because now when you don't have like a VDB in the scene, it's like it lights the candle, the spotlight lights the candle, but you don't see the source of the light coming from some point, okay? But when you're in a VDB, it literally shows you the source of your spotlight. And that just doesn't work, because people say, what is that? You know, no, we're not talking about this camera here, okay? Or this light here. What's this? Okay, this is our camera. What's this? Okay, that's our spotlight, okay? And the spotlight is kind of in front of us. So this is the spotlight, but this is the light coming out of the spotlight, and it's creating this weird funnel kind of looking thing in your scene. And even though you might say, oh, well, the light, it's to light this candle holder. Well, you can't. And I haven't found a way to light a candle holder except for one way, or to light any kind of thing in a VDB with another light. It just doesn't seem to work. So what we're going to do is we're just going to get this spotlight and get it right out of the scene. Let's put it down underneath our plane. Okay, now the spotlight's gone. And what we've got is our candle here. All right, but how do we light the candle holder? All right, well, we're going to select the candle, and then we're going to go to surfaces here, and we're going to go to the candle. All right, and you see this is our candle normal map. Okay, and this is our candle color. All right, and I think the color and the normal map are the same image. Okay, this is candle big default color, candle big default color. So they are the same image. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this candle big default color. We're going to put that on our emission, and then we're going to turn our emission to white, and it gets this kind of white looking thing. It looks terrible, okay, until you put that candle default color on the luminance, and then you give it some illums like 5, and all of a sudden the candle starts to, and we could say with the illuminance color, let's make it reddish. Okay, now the candle's lit, but what about the candle stand? Okay, so we go now to the candle holder. And we come up here and we find our candle, and this is the candle big default color. I've got mail. Awesome, awesome, Angus. It will have to sit, unfortunately, in my mailbox until I am able to go down. And that's very good. That means I can get out and about tomorrow. Okay, so we're going to put this candle default color big. All right, now we just put it on our emission color. Now we make this white like that. Well, it's sticking out, but it's not really the color we want it to be. So we take and come and put this same map on the luminance as well. Then we give this a 5 like that. And look at what we have here. And you see, this is pretty cool. This is how you light something in a VDB. You have to self-illuminate it. Okay, and the same goes for your character if you're going to have a character with skin. So let's save this, and we're going to call this candle light, well, C-A-C candlelight vision. Okay, we'll call it that. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to put a figure in the scene. And let's do it. Genesis 9. Figure. So if we want our character to because we can't put a spotlight on our character in the scene. Okay? Because our character, because of that funnel effect. And that spotlight effect, what if I put the light far away? Now, there is some kind of possibility of lighting this scene. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my Genesis 9 figure, and I'm going to shrink them down. Okay, so we'll go to Parameters and Scale. Let's scale them down so they're about the size of our candle. Let's just bring them over a little bit. And as you can see, our figure isn't lit, and we can't light them because this is called Daz Studio. And Daz Studio, this is what 3D is. And I'll show you, George. We go here, and then we go L, we'll turn the light on. And this figure, if I turn off my fog for a moment, this figure, we're going to put some pants on them. Okay, we'll close this for a moment. Let's put some pants on our Genesis 9 figure. So this Daz Studio, this program here, you get this at Ez3D.com. And it's, well, it's free. But you can also pay if you want for a version of this program that has more features. That's what I have here. And it comes with some free models. Okay, so now I'm going to put a male shape on this figure. We'll go with Nego. And as you know, you'll notice this figure is going to change. It's like right now it's a non-gender specific, so it's like halfway between male and female. So it's easier to move it to male or female if it's something in between. Okay, so we now have this figure as a male, and then we put some skin on the figure, and this time we will use Dane's skin, young adult skin. I just jump around between the different skins, okay? And then this is going to be a little bit of a job here, okay? It's not too much of a job, but all right. So if I'll show you what this is, what really the definition of 3D is. It's when I go to wireframe, notice what this is, George, okay? This is a geometric wireframe, okay? So what they've cleverly done is given us a fine enough mesh. It's like chicken wire, okay? Fine enough. It's very fine for the teeth. And it's also very fine for the eyes. But for the rest of the body, it only needs to be so fine to make it smooth, okay? So they've made it just fine enough so that when you stretch a photograph of somebody's skin and they take a picture of their skin on their face, their neck, their arms, they take all these pictures of somebody's skin and they stretch the skin around the figure, and this is what we get. Okay? And we get this image of this figure in the scene. It's not very lit. Yeah. And it's not very lit right now, but if I were to turn off my spotlight, my camera light should come on. Okay, and my camera light didn't come on. Do I have another light in the scene, maybe? If I delete the spotlight. Okay, there we go. So here's my camera light. Just came on. All right, and as you can see, when you get up close, this is a real person's skin that they have taken photographs of, and they've put the skin on their face. And so then you can also put like hair. You can give him a beard. Okay, well, let's select our figure first. You can give him a beard. Okay, and I can give him different eyebrows. Beard. I can give him body hair. Let's see. Let's go with hair. And we'll go with How about if we go with, we'll go with this ash hair. All right. Okay, and then we'll take this ash hair, and I think it might have the surfaces, ash hair, and we go to our, what is this? We'll go here and see if we can find a black hair, black ash. And what they do is they sell you all kind, like I bought this hair, I bought the beard. You buy all these products and you can put them on the figures. You buy clothing, you buy big farmhouses, and you buy rolling pastures, and you buy clouds and skies and air and atmosphere and everything you can imagine, dresses for the females and clothing for the men. And you can buy like worlds, like planets and spaceships and all these other things. And the computer figures out the light. Like the light in this scene right now is coming from my camera. Okay? So if I go far away, he'll get darker. You see? Because, well, I think my camera may actually be attenuating for it and lighting, getting brighter as I go back. I'm not really sure. But if I put, but what we're going to do is we're going to ash hair. And if I go like this and that, we'll find the ash hair. And then this comes with some colors. Okay, so we're going to, I think we're going to go with the black because it will match his beard somewhat. All right. Now, his eyebrows don't look quite right, okay? They're for the non-gender specific figure, so they're kind of between a male and a female's eyebrows. So we'll go with the eyebrow card. Which one is this? This here. Which one? Eyes, skin, lashes, hair. Where are the brows? Brows. All right, so we'll go with something a little more masculine, maybe. We'll go with this, maybe. Okay, that didn't quite work. Okay, we'll take this off, and we go with the Genesis 9. We'll try this again. Brows. Yes, this is hyper. This is even more real looking than games, okay? This is super hyper realism, okay? And so it's very realistic what we have here. Okay? So, and then we can put poses on him, and you can buy all the poses that you need. And here's a pose. Let's put him in some kind of pose. You can pose him manually, or you can just put a pose on him that gets him in the ballpark of what you want for a pose. Okay? All right, so we've made him small. All right, but what I'm trying to do is in this particular tutorial, we're going to have him looking at the camera, at the candle. So what we're going to do is 8. And let's put some other clothes on him. Let's put him in a suit. So we will go here. And these figures also have like anatomical elements, like they're male and female, like private parts. So they also have that, but and you can use the figure with them on or off, depending on your need. I don't need them because he's going to have clothes. Yes, this is amazing. Now you can see why I work with this, because it's very, very high quality. You have to have like a $3,000 computer to really do it well. So you have to really put some money into your computer. Now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go back to the scalp. We're going to go to the scalp, the surfaces, hair. Okay, we're going to go to scalp. And I think I'm going to take the opacity up a little bit here so that, yeah, see, so that his hair doesn't show through as much to his scalp. All right, that made it a little darker. And then, and the color of the scalp, base color is black. That's good. All right, so now what we do is we take and get him some clothes. We can change his eye color. Okay, I'm going to give him, we'll give him Nathan's blue eyes. Okay, these eyes aren't incredibly quite as detailed. So we'll, now I have a light shining right in his face. So it does kind of accentuate this a lot more. But let's go to eyes here. One of these are eyes, yeah. And we'll find Nathan's eyes. Okay, we'll change his eyes. Nathan's eyes are a little bit more realistic looking, but these are not bad eyes here. So these are the default. No, these might be the eyes that come with the hair here. Okay, so yeah, Nathan's eyes are a little bit. Now I can change those eyes to brown if I want. We would go here to eyes, surfaces, eyes. Nathan's eyes only come in blue, but I think I might be able to base color, make them brown, maybe see what happens here. Oh, that didn't work. Okay, undo that, cancel. All right, Z. All right, see, I have all kinds of eyes that I can choose for him. When we go into our smart content, figures, eyes 9. Well, that's fine. That's fine. So awesome. Okay. All right. So then we go here to our Genesis 9. I believe these will work like this. See, those are amazing eyes. They just don't seem to go right with the dark hair. Okay, those work. Okay. Now the sclera is a little bit too white, but I don't think it will be white once all right, I'm going to just kind of leave this at that because we need to do some pretty massive stuff now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn my cloud back on, and then I'm going to put my we're going to create a spotlight. That will turn off my camera light. Okay, and we're going to put the spotlight way down underneath our plane so it doesn't have any effect in the scene. Okay, that's under the plane. So the problem with our character right now is he doesn't have anything lighting him. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to our surfaces. And we're going to go to our these are our eyes. Okay, so we could start with the eyes. Let's get a little closer. I can't see where his eyes theoretically are. But what we do is we take this translucency color because that's the only map we have. Okay, and so in that map is called, you have to get the name of it. It's called D14I translucency. So we put that in our emission color. Was it D14 eyes? Okay, I don't think I did it right. Eye translucency. All right, there's like a whole bunch of them. Color, eye color. Let's take a look again here. Genesis 9 eyes. And, okay, we just want the left and right eyes. Okay, and we go up here. Okay, that's our base color. It just says eye color 1. D13 eye color 1. D13 eye color 1. So we go here to, where in the heck is our, well, this is strange. We might have to turn it on here. All right, I'm not seeing emissions, so we might have to do them one by one. Okay, so this, the only way it seems to be working for this, diffuse, enable, okay, is to go to the Genesis 9 eyes, and then we'll put this in our emission color. All right, let's see. Something's odd here happening that I don't. I'm just going down a road that I've kind of never gone before. This is D13 eye color 1. Okay. So we go down here. All right, let's just try one. Yeah, that kind of worked. Okay, then we go here to this and turn that on. And then you can see something's happening here, D13, okay, and then we go to luminance. We put this in our luminance. And then we turn up the luminance down to like 5 maybe. And suddenly, let's get up close here. Something's happening. I don't know if this is happening correctly. No, it's not. So we didn't do this right, Z. Okay. Okay. That and the emission color Z. Okay. Z. All right. So right eye, left eye, eye moisture, right eye. I'm not seeing any okay, detail, specular makeup enable, specular occlusion. Okay, let's work on something I can actually accomplish. Because I'm not sure why. Oh, maybe. Okay, I think I know what's wrong. I think I have to actually select the eye itself. Okay? So we'll go out of here. Let's select the eye. Okay, right eye. And then we're in surfaces here. And then our base color here is this color D13 eye color 1. Okay, so we go here now. We should. No, I'm not seeing emission. Okay, so They've fooled me. Okay. Okay, so have been fooled. Okay, so not sure why when I select the eye that we do not have a so bump enable. Okay. Why? Would you like some tips on how to add? Yes. Ensure your geometry is selected in the Scene tab. Create a geoshell. Go to Create New Geoshell. This will create a new shell over your figure. Like, okay. Select the geocell in the scene. Select the newly created geometry shell. Adjust the surfaces. Switch to the Surfaces tab, also known as Shading tab, and find the eye surfaces of the geoshell. Add emission. Scroll down to the emission properties in the shader settings. Enable it and pick a color for the emission. Adjust the luminance and temperature settings. Fine-tune. You can fine-tune the emission properties by adjusting additional settings like emission profile and glow to achieve the desired effect. Okay, so is it safe to assume that their skin is also not going to have emission? So let's see. So we go to surfaces, Genesis 9. And we go to surfaces. Let's go to head. And as we scroll down, yeah, there is no okay. Well, all right. So then there is no emission for their skin. So what we would have to do is put like this geoshell on. So create new, where is it? Primitive, new group, node, geometry shell. All right. And is this going to change the color of him and all this stuff? It looks like it is. So can we put the skin on the geometry shell? No. All right, well, what happens when we go into our geometry shell? Okay, head, arms, okay. where are eyes? Body, fingernails, okay, arms. Okay, arms. All right. Body. Okay, I'm wondering, okay, if this is only showing, okay, let's undo that. Let's go into iRay and see if if the geo shell is like transparent. It is. Okay, I think no, it's hard. We can't really tell until we get rid of our spotlight. The only way to tell is delete the spotlight, okay? And now we have this problem, okay. So let's turn off our thing. Okay, so obviously the geo shell comes in with no textures on it. So this is kind of ridiculous. It's like, why can't I just have emission on the skin? All right, so yeah, the poses you can do any kind of pose. Any pose a human can go in, and even poses humans can't go in, you can put these figures in. So they can sit, crossing their legs, their fingers, you can move every knuckle and every joint in their fingers. So we are going to find the colors we need. So this is for the body. Okay, body, young adult. Okay, this would be, I guess this one would be the body. Okay, this one would be arms. Arms. Okay, head. Head. This looks absolutely horrible. Okay, so now, it kind of defeats the whole purpose, I guess. All right, well, it makes sense in a way. Okay, in a way it kind of does. So let's go with legs. Legs and then we go with toenails. Toenails. Okay, nails. And fingernails. Nails. Okay. All right, and I don't see anything here for eyes. Okay, maybe the eyes, when I put them on the geo shell, they went over the eyes. Okay, now it also enabled translucency. Okay, what I'm not seeing is enable SS transmission. Okay, see, I'm not seeing... what did I just do? Oh, okay, I enabled translucency weight. So this would be head. Diffusion, I think. Head would be... let's find out. Which map is using for head? SSS. The SS. Okay, so for... subsurface scatter, okay, head. So translucency map, head. Okay, and now I think what I can do is go here to the head. Surfaces, head, copy, and then I could come here to the Genesis shell, head, paste. Yeah, I think that kind of did it. So, but is this shell actually going to give me top coat weight? See, what I don't see is enable, top coat enable, top coat color. Makeup enable. I don't suppose anybody knows what I'm doing here, okay? So makeup enable, that didn't work. We'll turn that off. We just don't, I'm not seeing any kind of way Genesis 9. Okay, Genesis. You're right. However, you can achieve the glowing. Select the figure, make sure, okay, create a geoshell, select the geoshell, open the surfaces tab, switch to the surfaces all known as the shading tab. Select the skin surface, find the skin surface of the such as skin, lips, nails, okay. Apply an emissive shader. Apply the Uber shader first. Okay. So let's go with the head part. And we have to go up here to Uber. And we go to default. No, we go to surfaces. Let's select all of these. Mouth cavities. Okay, let's do all of them. Genesis 9 shell. We go to presets, all files, default, shaders, Uber. See if we can just find it here. Here we go. MDL. Okay. Now let's see if these surfaces have emission. There, emissive color. Okay, so what if we do this? Well, that worked for the arms, okay. So what we do is we take this cutout and we turn all this down like that, turn it off. All right, so now we're back to the original skin, but if we put the arms, emissive color, This may not work. Okay, arms, we would go with our this. Okay, body, emissive color. Okay, let's do these together. Arms, okay, emission, okay, white. All right, and then we want to go to luminance arms. Then we go to body. All right, body. Okay, there we go there. And then this goes to white. And then we take our luminance and we go to body. Okay, fingernails. Fingernails, where is this? Nails, D. White. Okay, and luminance, nails, D. Head. Head. They couldn't have made this easy. And then we go to white. And then we go to luminance, head, D. Legs. Emission color, legs D. We turn this on like that. And we go to legs, luminance, legs D. Mouth cavity. Where's the mouth? Mouth. I don't know that that's it. Arms, body, head, legs, nails. Okay, so then I see shorts. Okay, so it must be this mouth. D. Okay, and we turn this on like that. And then we go to luminance, mouth, D. And toenails would be nails, D. This. We don't want purple. And this one, nails, D. Okay, so now we have emission. And we can go here and we can set this to like 9 maybe. All right, what happens when we turn them all up? Okay. So it's working. What happens now when we put him in our fog? And then we put our light back in the scene, which turns off our camera light. Okay, he's kind of lit up. Pull this down underneath the scene, underneath our plane. So what we have to do is put the Uber base also on the eyes. Okay, so let's select our shell again. Now there may be a way to add emission to the Genesis 9. You'd have to go into that node editor. You might be able to actually add it in. So what if we take this luminance now? Okay, we go Z, undo that, cut out opacity. Okay. See, I don't like this at all. But it is kind of weird. Look what's happening with his feet. They're actually lighting the floor. So what if we bring this to 4:9? Okay. It's all very strange. Now his eyes are not lit. Okay, so we would have to take his... All right, now all right, so I think we can take these Genesis 9, create GeoShell, right? Yeah, so now we have an eyes GeoShell. And we take this and we go to the eyes GeoShell. Left eye. Okay, now what we have to do is we have to put this Uber ray base, the shader preset. We just put that on the eyes. Okay, and then we take the eye shell back to the editor. Left eye. Okay, so now our eyes have emissive. So we go now to the eye color, which would be the first one here, eye color 1. And we put that on both of them. Okay, so then we go here. We can do them both at the same time. We put this eye color on there. And then we bring this up to like 9. Suddenly our eyes are emissive. Let's see what this looks like. This isn't like perfect, but it kind of works. Let's turn him towards our candle. And what's up with something's wrong with his, he's got some kind of distortion on his face. Maybe not. Okay. Let's give him some other hair. That's this hair. And we'll go with something cool. Oh, I have to select him. Okay, head hair. What if we give him, okay, this is the pixie hair. Pixie hair. Okay, and we'll go with the dark. So I mean, I think he's like illuminated too much, but I'm just not really sure what I'm doing at this point. But he's lighting up the world around him. It's kind of cool, and without any lights shining on him, he's actually lighting. And my graphics card is kind of fighting this because it just doesn't know what to think of this world, of this self-illuminating figure. Okay, so let's turn him towards the camera. Y rotate, I mean towards the candle. This is kind of cool. All right. Oh. Okay, his feet. So our fog isn't coming all the way down. And we'll just take some of the light off the fog. The fog is like extremely dense. Let's go 5. Okay. Now, let's give him a, let's see if he has a short pixie cut. Does he have a skull cap? Short hair. Okay, this might be the skull cap here, this pixie cut. So we go to surfaces. Okay, pixie cut, and then there's long. Okay, so I think this is a skull cap. And so if we go to cutout opacity and turn that up, yeah, that just gave us a little bit more base color. Let's make it darker, like black maybe. Yeah, well, he's actually, it's a very open, he's like outside in the fog, okay? And there's like almost like an endless plain. And so all that's in this, it's not really a room, it's more like it's more like an outside, endless, foggy, but it's a uniform, sort of uniform fog. It's not perfectly uniform, okay? It has a little bit of, and so we have a special effect set in here where the light that he's giving off is actually bouncing off. And like if you notice his feet, it's actually bouncing off of surfaces. And see, if I turn that effect off, you can see where it's kind of bouncing and creating a really like a very white line here. If I go into my render settings and we turn that off, we lose this kind of illumination. You notice the candle light is no longer creating this. When we turn it on, you see everything is like, it's creating this, it's a caustic effect, which means that this light here is bounce. This candle is actually putting off a red light, but you can't tell it because it doesn't bounce off anything. But when you turn this effect on, it's actually, you can see it. So literally I could go into this. Now I can go to this shell here and I could go to the surfaces and select them all. And instead of white, we could have him put off some kind of red. And then we could turn this up. Oh, that's the top coat color. Okay, we got to put this on the emission. So he's going to be putting off like a red light, okay? But it's really kind of strong right now. So what if we take and turn the emission, the cutout opacity. Okay, so when we turn this off, he's still putting off the light. So if we just make this a little bit lighter, like down here. And we make it a lot brighter. Another 9 here. I think I ruined it. I'm not sure. So, maybe we don't need so much emission. Let's go 5. Let's go 9 here. And we take the light, this color's red here. We bring it down a little bit more towards white. And we bring up this cutout opacity a little bit more. All right, let's render this big. And we go like this. Let's take and put our thirds guide so we can use our golden ratio to kind of align things. All right, and then we'll turn the third guides off. And then let's take our camera and lock it. Create. Lock the camera. All right, now I can't accidentally move the camera. So if I need to move around, I can go to the perspective view and move around this way. Okay, there's my camera. So we go back to the camera view. Now let's render this. Let's see what we have for, okay, we have to set up our render settings manually because I guess that's all good. So we go to our render, progressive render, maximum samples, maximum time, render quality. Let's save this image, save this project, I mean. And now we go to render. This is where it takes it and steps it up an entire level, like magnitude of quality. Okay, because the way we're looking at this is in a very kind of low quality. And so this is where it can take hours, okay, for this to render. So, and it should be kind of a giveaway. This right here should be a sort of a giveaway that he is putting off light. Yeah. So, and the floor is actually kind of like a grayish color, but it's shiny, and so it's picking up this mirror surface. Now I could make it mirror more by making it into like a silver or a chrome surface, and then it would actually be a mirror. Right now it's actually just like a white shiny, kind of like a light gray shiny surface right now, but I could change that. Now you see this candle and this, they have the same effect on them, that they're giving off light. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do is make this larger so that it doesn't, he's not looking over it. Okay, so let's cancel this for a moment. And I wonder how many iterations we got to. But let's see this candle here now. The candle, and let's scale that up. So it looks like he's looking at the flame rather than over it. Like, and I could move his head down and make him look down at it. But let's see what happens when we scale it up. So I still may have to move it down a little bit, but let's Okay, save this. It does put off a little bit more light. Now let's see what happens here. So this effect here, if you just put a light in the scene, it's not really going to do anything unless there's something for it to bounce off of. Okay? So a candle works really well because it's going to bounce off the top of the light is going to come out and be pretty strong and bounce off. And this is putting off red light. If the candle and the candle holder were not here, it would just spread the light out and you wouldn't really notice the caustic effect because it wouldn't have anything to bounce off of. And so this is literally what's causing this effect, is it's bouncing heavily because it's so close to it. It's bouncing off of this and creating this halo. So now it looks like he's looking at the tip of the light, which is okay. And this does kind of look like it's sitting correctly on the floor. I wonder what would happen if we did put like a mirror-like effect on our plane. So let's select our plane. Let's put like a silver. Silver works. I used to always look for like chrome, as if chrome was going to be the most reflective kind of thing. But I found in Daz Studio that silver seems to be the key word. And I don't know if you have these particular products here, but these ones I find to be kind of really cool. They seem to work. Okay, I don't want the brushed ones, just silver maybe. Okay, so this looks like it's more of a one-to-one kind of thing. Now it looks like it's reflective. So I'm not sure if I really like that because it seemed as though it had the brush silver. Z. No, I think I like that white because I believe this, because this is white here, that it's actually that it's not the white. It's not that there's so much light there that it's bouncing back and forth. It's actually bouncing off where the silver, it was so reflective that it was just bouncing its own color back. But what's happening with this is because of the caustic rendering surface, it's bouncing the white color onto the bottom of his feet. So this is kind of interesting. So now let's put, instead of like gym shorts or something, let's put some, you see, I don't want to cover his body because he's got this cool effect. It's got almost like an X-ray effect going on here with him. I'm tending to think that this image is done and that this tutorial has kind of reached its kind of fruition, because I went much further than I planned on. I showed you in the beginning, if you missed this, I showed you how to put this on like a regular surface, and then also how to put this on a Genesis 9 figure to make them, and that one turned out to be a very convoluted process. I still think that there may be a way to add the cutout thing to, now we go to window, what would be panes. Now there's some kind of we select the Genesis 9 figure. Window, and I never work with this particular part of it, and I don't know that I can even remember where it is, but it's some kind of node-based texture figure setup. I think I'd have to go, in order to take this a step further, shader builder, shader mixer. It might be one of those. Shader builder. Okay, now this is not it. Okay, we go window, panes, content library, decimator, draw, dynamic, environment, face, figure setup. Okay, histogram. Lights, parameters, posting power, property hierarchy. I don't think it's that. It might be this RSL editor. Might be this. No. It's supposed to, now there was something up here, like, yeah, I forgot. How do you open the node-based surface texture go to the surfaces tab, also known as the shading tab. Select the surface and select the surface you want to edit. Open the node editor. With the surface selected, click on the Node Editor button, usually found in the top of the Surfaces tab. Okay, so we select Genesis 9, we go to Surfaces, Editor, and we select, we would want to select Surfaces. And let's just go with the head. Where's the Node Editor? Up here. Okay, we're in the Surfaces tab, right? Head. Okay. I'm not seeing it. Edit. Surface data, surface selection. That's not it. Open the node editor. With the surface selected, click the Node Editor button, usually found in the top of the Surfaces tab. Okay, maybe it's in here. Panes would be node LMN. No, I don't see a node editor. Head. I don't see a node editor. He's thinking hard about this one. My AI is a he. I think I asked a question that is too hard to answer. I'll let you think about that for a while. Okay, we're in the Surfaces tab. All right, I don't see a node editor button. Show documentation. Texture Atlas. This is weird. It's not showing anything over here, which is that's kind of interesting. You find out stuff in Daz Studio that you just never knew about. Okay, I think my AI, I might as well have asked them to add like 8 quadrillion times 80 million quadrillion. It's like, I'll be back in a moment once you think about that for a bit. How to open the node editor. We're in the Surfaces tab. Okay, I don't see anything here either. We have a head texture selected. Oops, undo, Z. Image editor. No, it's not that. It's not that. Window, I know it's up here somewhere in this panes. Texture animator. Smart content, shader builder, shader mixer. Parameters. We already have parameters open. Histogram. Content disseminator. Draw settings. So I think this is something for the Daz forums. What is the name of the official name of the node editor in is a shader mixer. Okay. So this is it here. Window, panes, shader mix. Here we go. All right. This thing is, wow, you open this up and it's like buggy. All right, I didn't want to put that there. Okay, so we can just click this and that closes it. All right, that's our shader mixer. All right, now this is where Daz Studio turns into a mess. Click for preview. Preview. Boy, this takes a while too. Look at that. Woo! Okay. This video, the next part of this video, we're going to be talking about quantum relativity, as in like qubits that are in the deepest part of electrons. They're something that are theoretical, and they have to do with quarks. And, you know, I'm just kidding, but we might as well, because that is like, this is like the subatomic level of Daz Studio. I probably shouldn't have clicked on that to see the texture. I don't need to see it, Daz. I don't. All right, so somewhere in here, there's select bricks, copy bricks, paste bricks, shader name. Where is the add? Okay, so we have copy, delete, group, arrange, allot, move, shader name, save. Okay, where insert, brick, functions. Okay, so we have all of these different things. Geometric lighting. Okay, so this might be okay, and roots, lights. See, I don't see emissive, MDL surface. Okay, surface. As if these things mean anything to me, they don't. All right, let's see. We just go down through them and look at everything and see if anything says emissive. Look at this, caustic surfaces. Wow. That's interesting. Okay, ambient occlusion. So we might be able to add like a caustic surface to our plane. Okay, so now special, specular, glossy. Okay, MDL. All right, these would be the important ones here. Material editors, okay. This is where we would find wow. See, this right here is like the chemistry of Daz Studio. This is like all of these things. If you learn this about shaders and all, you know, it's just amazing that this stuff, thick glass, thin glass. Okay, those would be, yeah, there's another name for those. Textures, utilities, normalized color. Oh, this is interesting. I wonder if normalized color would be the same as like leveling in like Adobe. So this is a very, very amazing. Okay, we got the same thing over here. We've got functions, and we can go and filament. Okay, so there's a whole library for filament geometric. Oh, look at these. So the next time that you need an Uber, you can just come in here, custom MDL, and throw that onto onto your figure. I'm getting tired, so I think I really don't know a lot about this. My advice is if you want to learn more about, and I've already forgotten what this is called. This is called the shader mixer. Look up shader mixer or ask Copilot. Can you find me YouTube videos? I know Jay has a bunch of them on it. Discussing the shader mixer. Sure, here are some YouTube videos that discuss the shader mixer in Daz Studio. Beginner's Introduction to Shader Mixer. Daz 3D Shader Mixer Tutorials. Snow Shader Brick. This video guides through creating a snow shader. That might be that mix, what's it called? I think I've seen that video before. Window panes. It's called panes. It is called, oh, I can't find it now. I just had my mouse over it. Okay. It's not the catalyzer. Not look at my hair. Where are you? Thickener. Materia. Okay, that might be the Materia Mesh Maker. That is an incredible thing. That makes, puts snow on trees and snow on houses and snow on your scene. Put clumps of snow everywhere, and it gives you all kinds of settings. Materia. There it is. Materia Mesh Maker. Look at this. See, you can put snow on the woolly mammoth, snow on the ground, snow on the trees. I'm not sure how much of this they actually put this on. So yeah, it's an art form just doing this. And you can't expect the person who made this program to be really that good at it, because they're really good at making it, but they may not be that good at using it. That's up to us to kind of use his program and make it really well. But also what he gives you in this, look at what he did with this, though. This is pretty nice. What he did with this, he gave us shaders so that we can just, like if you have a plane on the ground and you want to put snow on the ground, you can just add that shader, and it's like a thick shader. It's not like just like a surface. It's actually puts like thick snow on the ground. So you have to raise your figure up a little bit so that they're not, like their feet aren't buried in the snow. It has a thickness to it. It's a very, very nice snow shader for all kinds of things you might want to put snow on. But this is a very, very, very cool. You better buy it before it becomes part of Daz and you can't buy it anymore. So that's why, I mean, I own, in a way, getting the new Daz Premiere, and it says, well, it's got all of these utilities built into it. It's like, oh, you mean the utilities I already bought? So everything except the Surface one, I already own all of those, all of the utilities. So but Daz did kind of revamp them a little bit. So I'm also not complaining. I don't care that I bought them and now they're part of the Daz has made it up. Like in the last month or so, since the premiere, they've given me so many deals because I'm a premiere subscriber, that it's just, I think I've made back all of the money on all of those. I've kind of broke even. And I expect next month will be the same thing, where they just be handing out all kinds of deals and door specials and all this stuff, dollar door. So this is something to look into. Mixer, snow shader, brick, guides through snow shaders. Let's look at this. Just open in Microsoft Edge. How about Chrome? So considering okay, this is not the materia, or this is an advertisement. Okay, because I'm not signed in, and so I have to watch a Grammarly advertisement. I already own that YouTube here. Okay, so I have the shader mixer tutorials, snow tutorials. Okay, this isn't the same thing. We'll keep this. So this, I'm not sure what this is here. Shader base, and this is terrible. It's all blurry. Let's see. Can we go to the quality? No, that's the highest. This is why I broadcast for you people. This is what. Well, it's not quite HD, but this is why I broadcast to you in 4K. So you can see what I'm doing. And this tutorial is for you guys. It's for you to. Okay, so I assume at some point he'll open up the. Okay, I can't even remember the name of this again. Shader mixer. I don't use it very much. This is probably Jay's video. No, for some reason. Oh, this is Caroline. Okay, Caroline. I'm not sure who she's. We're definitely going to subscribe to her, but I have to transliterate these over. Okay, this is Jay from Daz 3D. So this is one of his Daz 3D videos. And Jay definitely has HD, so I'm not sure why they're giving me these. So we'd have to jump ahead until we get to the actual content. So, but this is probably going to be your best shaders and materials. So this isn't really what we need, okay? He may open the shader mixer at some point. Zones. This is a massive. Adjusting the size of your UV, adjusting transparency, fixing transparency. Okay, so permanently removing geometry from your objects, shaders versus materials. Okay, this is not what we're looking for. Jay does have a video. Okay, quick look at the shader mixer. This is important right here. I'm not going to play his video. I'm just going to point you to it. And because it wouldn't be right for me to take his information and put it directly into my video. So this is a very, very, very good. I'm going to add this to my 3D tutorials. Drop it in there somewhere. I'm not sure what happened to my okay, so again, I'm in a browser that isn't native to my Windows. When are you going to figure out? I just don't want to use Edge. I really don't. So I asked Windows like 10 times, 20 times. I went into their forums and I told you, I made them a list. And I said, you fix these things in Edge and I'll actually be able to get my work done by using Edge. But if you don't, and they just totally ignored them. I said, when there's an image like this, I need to be able to right click. It says copy link. It's like, I don't know. Okay, now it says save image as. It took them like 6 years to put that into Edge. The same thing when you see an image in Chrome, you just right-click on the image, and you right-click and says Save Image As. And it doesn't pop up with this thing that's saying, would you like to save it to your email? Would you like to save it to Facebook? Would you? And it's like, no, I just want to save it to my hard drive or to my desktop. And there was no option for that. There probably still isn't. You know, if I go Save Image As, there's probably no option to save it to your desktop. Right-click, Save Image As. Oh. It's amazing. Look at that. It actually lets me save it to my desktop. It took them like years, like 4 or 5 years to finally put that in. It's like I work in forums and I have to be able to copy and paste images and copy links, save link as, save image as. That was the other one, save link as. Okay, there it is, save link as. And it's a watch, okay, .htm. I don't think it's really the proper kind of link, though. But it says watch.htm. We'd have to find like a search for Halloween images. Now, all these images probably won't let me save them, but one of them might. Let's go. Boo, check out these. Right click, save image as. Yeah, this is a WebP. So this WebP stuff is kind of terrible, how that everything became that way, has become that way. Save image as. Okay, that's a JPEG, and it says it wants to save it right now. Save link as. Copy image link. All right, apparently it just copied it to my... So I would be able to paste that in, theoretically, into a forum. So, So I guess there are issues with like linking to other people's images. Then their server has to serve them for your own kind of purpose. So I guess, but the thing is, Chrome was doing it for years. Let's give Jay a like on this. I have to sign in to like it. I'm sure I've been here before and liked this already, but this is probably a very, very, very useful tutorial. And this shader mixer. There may be other videos. All you have to do will open YouTube. Meta's nuclear power plans were foiled by bees. Oh no. Of course, the bees are gonna. Okay, it's bees' problem that we have a nuclear power that's like on the verge of causing mass extinction. It's like, oh, let's blame the bees. Yeah, so it's their fault. Let's see now. I know I promised not to get political. Here we go. So we are looking for, are we at YouTube? Okay, this is supposed to come up. All right, this is why we don't use this, because when I open this and open this, I can open YouTube right up, which I kind of live here. And this is shader, Daz. Shader mixer. This is it. Okay, this is the big one. Jay's drinking his coffee here. He has since quit drinking coffee. I hope I was a catalyst for that, because I've made it very clear that I only drink decaf. Now look, this is somebody. Oh, this is Ez3DTv. Shader mixer. Studio shader mixer. So I've done videos on the shader mixer, but I have like Alzheimer's and have no idea what I used to know about shader mixer. I've forgotten more than what I used to know about shader mixer. But here is another one. I suggest you all spend a day learning about Shader Mixer. Look how complicated Shader Mixer can get. This is the Uber iRay. Yeah, there's things I used to know about the Shader Mixer, and so it's kind of cool that my video comes up third in the list when you type in Daz Studio Shader Mixer. So I would expect Jay's to come up first because Jay knows a lot more about it than I do. The Shader Mixer, I have my things that I know about, and Shader Mixer is not one of my I would assume that Shader Mixer even goes beyond a lot of the things Jay knows about, but because it's just so incredibly complicated. The only one who really knows like everything there is to know about Shader Mixer, it would be someone, probably Daz, some of the technicians at Daz Studio, but it would be really NVIDIA. Okay, because NVIDIA created the iRay, the MDL shader, and they also, but the Shader Mixer will also show you other types of shaders. I'm not sure if it will show you octane shaders, but it will definitely show you 3D light shaders. So, okay, I guess this is going to do it for me. Thank you, people, for watching. We're going to go back to Daz Studio. We'll hide this Shader Mixer. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to leave this like this. I can't really think of anything else to put in this scene. So we're going to just save it. This is a candlelight vision, and what we're going to do is render the picture, render it, and I have 5 minutes to get to the grocery store, and I don't think I'm going to be getting there tonight. So, all right, people, this is it. I'm just going to render this, and this is my so this kind of worked because I told you why you can't use a light in. Now, I think what we're going to do is maybe the next video we'll experiment with using, because you can't use a point light, because the point light, I mean, you can't use a point light because you're going to see that point and you're going to see the light dissipating. And it may be the problem that in order to light up a VDB, that you have to use a very large, like, you know, like a distant light or some kind of light that has a very soft shadow and ambience, so that it bounces off of everything and kind of gets into your VDB in a kind of cool way. So I kind of wish all of this had been blue instead of red, because it would be more dreamlike, but this is kind of cool. This kind of works. So it does kind of work in a very strange way. So I think I've given you guys some nice tips in this video that you can use, especially this candle tip here, and using VDBs to get this kind of glowy effect. All right. So, all right, you all take care. I am Rex Red. Thank you for watching. And I will see you in the next Ez3DTv tutorial. And please like, subscribe, click the bell for notifications. And if you would like all notifications, then use the drop down when you subscribe and click for all notifications, and you will get a notification of when I go live again. Hopefully you'll come back in and be part of this live video. So, and if you know a lot about Daz, and it's like, and you think that I don't know like anything, you're still welcome to be here, because when I'm working in a Daz scene and it's like I just spent like 10 minutes trying to figure out what was the name of that. Oh yeah, shader mixer. And it's like my Alzheimer's moment. So it's like I just couldn't remember what that was or where it was or anything. I couldn't remember how to get it open. And, you know, even Copilot had an Alzheimer's moment. It's like it was worse than mine. So, yeah. So just please be a part of this so that you can, you know, interject and add to this. I need people who are smarter than me to be in the chat and to help guide this whatever project that we try to make. It looks like his hair is showing through his, I'll have to look at that up close. It looks like it's coming through his, we do have it looks like it's coming through his skull cap. So, and it would show more so with this sculpt cap. And if I just take the sculpt cap and do a morph and make it a little bit bigger, I think it will work. But this looks actually pretty good. So take care, people. Much love. I will see you again soon. It's Rex Red saying bye for now. And I will be back with more Ez3DTv tutorials very soon, coming to a channel near you. So alrighty,